Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Please like, share, subscribe, donate, leave positive feedback and comments. Please leave anything that you'd like to share with me so that I can reply to you guys and interact with you guys. But anyways, I'm going to get into this. I want to speak of the aware narcissist because it's a lot of information out there, and most of these people are aware of the disorders that they have, whether it be some people are mentally ill because of gifts and spiritual gifts. And so a lot of times spiritual gifts most of the time will show up, well, 100% of the time will show up as a mental illness, and you're really not mentally ill when it's in a positive way. It's just a gift. And the people who are mentally ill in a negative way, meaning evil, because the devil gives his people too, more of like the narcissistic psychopathic traits. Most of those times, those people are highly evil because they have a disregard for human beings, their fellow humans. So they're going against their own humanity because they're going against other human beings. More people who are like bipolar, autistic, those people are more gifted in a positive manner. So that being said, I'm going to jump straight into the aware narcissist, meaning this person is aware of their evil. They're aware of the evil that they do. Hence, I was in a relationship with two narcissistic people because of my spiritual gifts and me being a healer. So I attract these type of people. But God wanted me to up my discernment and up my awareness of these tactics that they use. But that's neither here nor there. Aware narcissists know that they're evil. They're not oblivious. There's too much information out there for people to know that they're not a narcissist. But my story begins because before this huge information came out about narcissists, this person was already aware, and I didn't know that they were aware of them being ill in this way. So that being said, I've been with this person off and on for almost 8 years, and it came to a point to where God said, I'm gonna really show you this person because this person is highly manipulative. And me not knowing, I'm thinking like, oh, okay, this person to get it, this person to get it. And no, this person don't want to get it. This person will never get it because they are truly evil. They are aware of who they are, and they not trying to change it. One thing about narcissists, they will ask, one thing that I know about aware narcissists, they will ask you for help just to reel you in even more. They will apologize. An aware narcissist will apologize to make you think that they are not a narcissist. Aware narcissists are aware of their tactics, and they have amped this thing up. They have amped their ways up. They have amped it up to blend in even more. So we have to be even more careful, because the more information we get on these particular mental illnesses that are evil, that are done to us in an evil way, the more the devil amp his people up. And long story short, this person were doing love spells on me, and I didn't even know it. Not only were they doing that, they was gaslighting me with the information that, because I'm a spiritualist, and I'm like, oh, anybody can learn, anybody can grow. And we do tend to have that more positive mindset, hence me being a spiritualist, hence me, because I'm an optimism, hence why I attract narcissists, because they don't have those particular qualities, and they want it from you. They have to be around you to gain those particular qualities. But when you're dealing with a narcissist that deals in spirituality and their family deals in spirituality, you're more susceptible at getting hoodwinked or whatever. But I serve the Most High God, and God knows all and see all. So God told me, I'm gonna bring this person around you. Well, that's what he was trying to tell me, and I didn't listen, or I wasn't picking up on the cues, because I always listen to God when he tell me stuff, but I didn't pick up on the cues. I'm like, why? A lot of stuff wasn't making sense. When narcissists are gaslighting you, and because I'm a thinker, I go over and analyze conversations I've had. I have caught this person in so many lies within the last, month of seeing them, a month of being back in their physical presence. I had took a 2-year hiatus, and I was abstinent, and we was in different states. So this person hadn't been around me in 2 years. So that being said, this person didn't know how to continue to gaslight me, and I could see through the toxicity that this person had put me through. You know what I'm saying? And not even that. Like before the 2 year hiatus, this person they wasn't the same. He wasn't the same person. It's like I reconnected with a stranger. And he was online, he was saying, when we email and talk, he was saying all that good stuff. But when he got into my presence, he can no longer hide or put on the mask that he was wearing for almost 8 years. You get what I'm saying? And the love spells had worn off. He was so used to me being a certain way with him and believing him, and not really analyzing what he's saying until he began to tell me any and everything that he thought. And then I'm like, that don't make sense. I'm like, you just told me you didn't know why your dad left. Now you telling me your mom broke up with your. It was so many like flaws in his story. And this is when God starts to unveil the narcissist. And this person of all 8 years I've known this person, had never raised their voice at me. This person who have never hit me had to calm himself down because he was going to hit me. And I'm just looking at God, so just watch. I was looking at him just like, and I mean what I said. When I told him I wanted to break up with him, he tried to, his mental, I'm disassociating. I know. And you could continue to disassociate away from me. What? And I just stayed calm. He was trying to gaslight me into situations of feeling sorry for him. Like, I can't even explain it to you guys. It is so unfathomable. If I don't even know if that's a word, but it's just hard to even to put into my brain to fathom the things that he was trying to take me through. And this was in a month of reconnecting with this particular individual. Not only did this particular individual reveal to me that he had childhood trauma of being sexually abused by his mother, hence why a lot of men are narcissists, because either they don't know, or the personality, the DID is keeping that away from them, or they know, and they just continue because their mother did this to them. So you get what I'm saying? This is from the Alpha Omega, meaning everybody is created with a booty hole first. The next thing in your life that when you come into this world is your mother. The morals that she instills in you is this. Hence why it's important to know what a person's relationship with their mother. And narcissists will come in and actually tell you that they have good relationship. They will lie to you. So it's not like I didn't check. And spiritually, my spirit guides were already telling me that this particular individual was always looking for a sugar mama. And I didn't understand why. But when men are looking for sugar mamas, that's a big red flag of mother issues. I didn't understand that until I got into this relationship. And God allowed me to go through this so that I can be the mouthpiece. And a lot of people don't have to go through what I went through. Because some of y'all won't even survive a narcissist, because they can drive you literally insane, out your mind, make you go insane. And a lot of people go insane and be like, oh, that person just insane, because they got narcissized and they couldn't handle it. But thank God I have God of strength and mercy. I'm on the child of Judah. So praise to God, to the Most High God. So that being said, the way a person's mother raised them matters. And like I said, they will lie to you about their mother issues and mother wounds. And you will start to see them manifest in different ways depending on how they were perpetrated by their mother, how their mother victimized them and then made them. A lot of times when a mother makes their son their husband, and literally their husband, all the way through and through their husband, but from the only thing they didn't go to the church and marry their child. You get what I'm saying? But in the house, that child is the husband. And when God showed me that this person's father walked out on them because he realized that the mother was sexually molesting their own child, and then he did nothing about it. I just don't understand it. I don't know if he didn't think that the police was going to believe him. I don't know what he thought, but the person's father left because he understood and he seen, or he knew, let's just use that word, he knew that this person was being sexually molested by his mother and did nothing about it. You get how irresponsible he have mother wounds and father wounds. And I'm pretty sure this man is almost 40. He understands that his father left because of that. You know what I'm saying? And he shielded his mother. All he talks about is his mother 24/7. And a lot of times he runs from his mother. He don't. When I got further into a relationship with him, I figured out he was like, I don't need that type of love. I don't want that type of love. So when I was trying to love him properly, it reminded him of his mother wound. So that's why he would run. When people run from your love, a man runs from a woman's love. If you know you truly love this person and the man is running. Now, I'm not saying all the time. You have to go through. It got to be more than 1-2 signs. You know what I'm saying? You get more than 1-2 red flags. So if it's over 3 red flags, then okay, you can. This is one of them. You know what I'm saying? So this particular person. And I would try to love this person properly and understand, let me just say this. This particular individual got sick from COVID. He had walking pneumonia. And I got sick the same time this person got sick, but the Lord God quickened me and told me what recipe to make for myself. And I did. I made the recipe, and he ended up with walking pneumonia, and I ended up well. I went through a 1 day of being sick, and after I did what the Lord told me to do and healed myself, I was fine. And then so he, in his mind, he concocted that I wanted to harm him, that I did this to him. Now, mind you, I got sick when this individual got sick. I got sick before this individual got sick. He got sick the next day after me. My caring self went to the hospital with him, nourished him, helped him, and the whole time he was accusing me of wanting to harm him. And I'm like, how? I told you the recipe. I told your mother the recipe God gave me. I told all of y'all the recipe God gave me. Everything. Your mother took it. Your niece took it. They were healed. I was healed. You were the only one walking around with walking pneumonia. So how, sir, am I trying to harm you? How, sir, am I trying to kill you? Like, what are you talking about? He made no sense. Hence another sign. Meaning this person didn't want to heed to what the recipe God had told me, because I don't know. I don't know if he couldn't accept it came from me or what. Not only that, he had walking pneumonia on his he thought he was going to die. I'm like, you're not going to die. So when he was going through, this whole sickness debacle, he ended up, what I'm trying to say, he ended up like ready to die. He ended up, and he still was saying it was me, but he still wanted to be around me. He still wanted me to care for him. So I just took him home. I'm like, no, you go home. You go deal with this yourself, because I don't got time. If your mother took it, I took it, and your niece took it, and we all fine, and we all came down with the symptoms you came down with, how am I? Sir, you make no sense. So when he healed, and when he seen that this 7-8 days was up and it was gone, he ended up going back, he seen that he was fine. And I'm like, yeah, because you make no sense. People get sick all the time, but if you would have just listened, you wouldn't even have to go through none of what you went through, because you would have been healed. Even your mother, your sister, your niece took the remedy that God gave me, and they were fine. We were fine. All 3 of us are fine. You the only one went through major symptoms because you wouldn't listen. So self-sabotage is real. And I don't care. With him, it's his health. With him, it's his health. He's the type of person that would eat correctly, but go vape. He's the type of person who would eat extremely well, but the next day he would eat all unhealthy foods. He's the type of person, he will tell you what's good for you and want you, to give up all your so-called flaws when it comes to food, but he would eat everything that he deemed unhealthy for you, and he wanted you to throw it out. He would eat all of that. Madness, right? These are people with double minds. These are people who have mother wounds. A narcissistic person is just a double-minded person. That's what the Bible is talking about when they talk about double-minded. These are narcissistic people, meaning wavering, undoubtedly. They're because they want to be the light, but they're not the light. They want to have all these great qualities, but they really don't have all these great qualities. And the only reason why God told me to make this video is because he wants you to know that they're amping up how they're blending in with us. They're amping up. They know that they're evil. So when you come into with a narcissist, don't ever feel sorry for a narcissist. Yes, their childhood trauma, wasn't their fault, but how they heal is definitely their fault. Like, my father wasn't there for me. That wasn't my fault. Nobody feels sorry for me, but I am a statistic in this world because I had no father, and I beat all odds when it came to that because I let God be my father. You get what I'm saying? We all have a choice to choose evil or good. No matter what situation we've been through, no matter how bad our childhood was, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you given people know right from wrong. They know good from evil, and that's what God. I can feel good for the little boy that he was when this happened to him, but I cannot feel sorry for the grown man that he is and doing nothing about it. There's two different. That's how we get confused, and that's how I got narcissized, and me being a spiritualist, it can happen to any of us. I'm a human being. Only way I survive is because by the mercy and grace of God, because I'm from the tribe of Judah. It's because I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and He is. So at the end of the day, for people who have dated narcissists, understand what I'm talking about. For people who have never dated a true narcissist, then you would never understand what I'm talking about, because a narcissist, to deal with a narcissist, you have to experience a narcissist. If you have never experienced being around a narcissist, you cannot even fathom the things that they can do and say to you. You cannot fathom the things that has been done to a person that has been narcissized. You cannot fathom it. So if you can't understand what I'm talking about, then you have never been with a narcissist. Period. So I'm just so glad this time it only took me a month to understand what God was trying to show me in the lesson in it. I was ascending, and I used to pray for a guy. I said, God, my thing was, because I like to cook, I want a man that loves to eat, is humble, all the great things. But what I forgot to ask God for was for a man who seeks God. You get what I'm saying? For a man who knows God, for a man who takes care of his responsibility, not only is loyal, but loyal to God before he's loyal to me. Because if he's loyal to God before he's loyal to me, then I don't have anything to worry about, because he can lead me. This man that I had in my life cannot lead me. He cannot guide me, because he couldn't even control his own. He had trouble controlling his own. How can I put? He doesn't have interpersonal skills. And even his ex-boss will understand what I'm talking about. He has no interpersonal skills. He do not know how to self-regulate. When he self-regulate, he lashes out. He cut I have shoes that I wear around the house, flip-flops. He cut them when he was mad at me when I was asleep. These are the things narcissists do, because the child in them has not been healed. So they go back childlike behavior, and it's hard to understand, because you were like, this is a grown man. Like, how is he around here cutting the shoe? And then he will blame it on my children. My children don't do stuff like that, because I know I have children that know how to self-regulate, because I don't want to root them out. I don't want to instill the good morals in them. So my kids are not going around cutting flip-flops. I had these flip-flops before he got here for a whole year. Like, why, when you're here, sir, that they're cut? Why, when you're here, the water is left running? These are the things this grown man, when he's mad at me, does to me. He leaves water running. This isn't the first time. Before, I didn't know. I was like, am I tripping? Did I get up? And the guy's like, no, he did that. He left my water running all night long. All night long, because he was mad. He can't self-regulate his emotions. They cannot self-regulate, so this is why they lash out in evil ways. And he's not the one to hit you. He's the one, like I said, to cut your shoes, to turn on your water at 2 o'clock in the morning when they know you're asleep, to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning for 4 hours. Your water has been running, ma'am. He doesn't pay the bills. So you get what I'm saying? It's very carefully thought out. They can't self-regulate until they do something destructive. I hope this helps you to understand a narcissist better. Most people give you like little vague, oh, they'll do this, but I'm giving you prime examples from experiences that narcissists do when you were like, oh, yes. And mind you, I'm in the room with only him and me, and we have a bathroom in our room. So the door is locked. My kids can't come in there. So I know he did it. And this isn't the first time he did it. This isn't the first time he did it. This is not the first time he did it. Keys went missing. Then he tried to get back in my house to put my keys back in my house when I lived in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Then he tried to get me to not hold him to accountable. I'm like, you did that. How, like nobody else lives here. I'm the only other adult that lives in this house. So, sir, it's you. So I was put in situations where it can only be him. You know what I mean? It can only be him. And so when dealing with narcissists, these are the things I do. I'm blessed because he's not one of those. I won't even say I'm blessed. I don't even know what the word to use, but it was just a situation where he didn't even, he never put his hands on me. He never showed signs of aggression, but he did do things like that, like steal my keys, steal my tarot cards. Like he'll steal 3 or 4 tarot cards at the deck, and anybody that is a spiritualist knows when some of your tarot cards are missing, and then he'll bring them back later because he knew my cards were going to tell me the truth. He knew God was going to communicate through my cards, and the spirit had already let me know when I first started dating him that he's the type of person like he will solicit himself. Because he was like, his words is, I know what I got between my legs. That's his words. That's the narcissist's words to me. And he's always trying to be smooth with his words. They always try to how can I put it? It's passive aggressive energy. You know that, like, you could do something to a narcissist and you know they're going to set it up. This is how you know you're dealing with a narcissist. You can do something to them because you know something is wrong after a while. You know what I'm saying? After you've been with them a while, you know something is wrong with them. So you know the things that tick them off. Do something to a narcissist. And if they act nice to you, you're going to look for a backlash some way. Like my water being left on at 2 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning. Like my shoe being cut. Like I can't find none of my hair tie. These are the things narcissistic people do because they haven't healed their childhood trauma. And it makes sense if you think about it. If the person hasn't healed since childhood and they still had carrying around all this trauma, they're going to do childish things because they're not healed. He told me stories because he always had an eating disorder. I realized that too. He had an eating disorder, and his mother said that, not his mother, I'm sorry. He said that his mother said that she was going to set like boundaries on the limits of food he could eat, basically. And it pissed him off. So when his dad was with him, when his dad was living in the house with them, his dad will regulate the food too, because this gentleman, he can eat. And I'm not talking about normal amounts of food. I'm talking about irregular amounts of food, and he still looks regular. Like he still is skinny. He still is. And I'm not talking about somebody that could eat like 5 or 6 burgers or something like that. It's an enormous amount of food. It's more than that. And he eats constantly. It is like God showed me that he has an eating disorder, and then he would fast for days to put himself on a regular to regulate his eating so he doesn't get fat. That's an eating disorder. He has an eating disorder. So not only does he have an eating disorder because he felt like he was restricted in his childhood, and he should have been, because he could eat enough for 12 people in one day. Put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Enough for 12 people in one day. And he's one human being. Yes, he's tall, but who can eat enough for 12 people in one day? He can drink enough for 12 people in one day. And he don't even be full. He doesn't even be full. And I'm only sharing these experiences with you because the Most High told me to. This should let y'all know the signs of men with mother wounds. It is so daunting because not only I have other things that I can say, but I'm not going to expose because I feel like it's too much. But you will see when you're around this person. But either way, let's back to his eating disorder. His mother and father would put restriction on how much food he can eat. So he told me, came out his own mouth, that at night he would go in the kitchen, and because he loved milk, he used to drink milk in the middle of the night and eats whatever he want. And he found little ways to make it seem like he wasn't. Like, he would put water in the milk or whatever to make it back to where it was, because his father was real strict on that. And I see why they did what they did, but at the same time, these are how you know. I just don't believe everybody is created equal when it comes to souls. I believe the devil send people souls here. I really do. I really do. I believe it was passed on from his mother genes, not only in his genes, but then she did turn around and did some other stuff to him to make him the way that he is. You know what I'm saying? I have been done a lot of things too in my life. I have a lot of testimonies that I've overcame, and never once have I, anything evil someone has done to me, have I tried to do it back to another human being, or that I even wanted to, or that I can either fathom doing to another human being, just because I know it's evil. Like, I don't want that to happen to nobody else, or I don't want that. And for this individual, for him to think it's okay. And he was always comparing me to his mother. He would always like, and it was in a sneaky, dry way. You get what I'm saying? It was a passive aggressive way. He would say, "Oh, I will never give nobody my last money but my mother." And this is out of nowhere. I never asked him for money. I never asked him, about his mother. I'll ask him how she doing or whatever, but I never asked. It was no reason for him to bring that up. And he would have this smirk on his face afterwards, and it was like to provoke me. I'm like, why would you say that? Like, what provoked you to say that? Like, why? He was like, I was just saying, I had a dream that my father asked me for money, and I gave it to him, all the money in my pocket, and then he threw it in a bucket. And this is the dream he had. I'm like, oh, okay. So it didn't bother me because I don't have a relationship with his mother. I'm not trying to be his mother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be his partner. So that being said, you guys, these narcissists have upped their game, and God let me know that I'm ascending and I'm elevating. And some people can't come with you. He can't come with me with those kind of wounds. If I'm ministering to people and I'm doing all these great things, you cannot have this kind of energy around you and think that is okay, because these type of people are sucking on your energy. A lot of times we try to bring people along that ain't meant to come along. And I'm not scared. I'm not ashamed of anything to share my testimonies, because baby, when God say move, I'ma move. And if I can't hear him, it's because somebody's in my way. You got to move out the way, sir, so I can hear my Father. You got to move out the way. Another thing is, he hated my spirituality. He hated that I was into tarot. He couldn't fathom that I read tarot cards and oracle cards and I believe in the Bible. He don't think that the two go together, and they do. And they do. And so he was always against anything that I did spiritually. Anything that I did spiritually, he was against. And I'm like, why is he against it? You know what I mean? To me, it all makes sense. The way God gave me things, it all flows and it makes sense. I don't care what's written in that Bible, whatever. My soul knows how to rightly divide the word of truth. That don't mean just the Bible. That means anything in life. So y'all can take it how you want to take it, but I know my journey, my path, my purpose here, and he was always against it. 24/7, he was against it. And then when he tried to be supportive, he couldn't even try to be supportive. He always had to turn around and regurgitate what he said, because that's not truly how he feel about my purpose, my religion, me reading tarot and me reading the Bible. He cannot fathom that. And people that cannot fathom how God can use what the enemy can use and use it for good, how can you not fathom that? Anything that the enemy does, God did it first, and the enemy just copies and make it evil. How can you not fathom that? How? How can you not fathom that? Because he has blocks and issues, religious mind. Not even he have a religious mind. He has demons. And God let me know jealousy and envy was one of the demons that, well, two of the demons that he was hiding within himself of me. And I didn't realize that I was with a jealous, envious partner. And God had to uproot that. He had to let me see. He said, babe, I'm going to let you see firsthand. And he let me see firsthand, and I see. And when it's other things that I caught. These are only some of the things. I got many other stories. I have seen this person switch personalities. Like black eyes, they call them moon eyes, with a smile, a very evil smile on his face, and just a blank stare. And then the next personality came in. I have seen this person do this. You feel what I'm saying? I have seen it. I have seen it with my own two eyes. Right in front of me. I'm looking at you in this camera, like my face is in this camera. That's how real it was. And you got to understand that everybody can't deal with this. This was so shocking to me. Like, how can, that would drive a normal person insane. Like, you know what I mean? And God had to quicken me. God had to quicken me and minister to me when I witnessed this. He quickened me and ministered to me. I'm out, y'all guys. I'm out. Peace.